Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SMU's 110th Opening Convocation. It is a special day for our newest students and an important day for the university community. We are pleased that you are joining us in McFarland Auditorium and from around the world through the event webcast to celebrate this historic occasion. As we continue our preparations, please enjoy the music of the Imperial Brass. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome SMU's newest students, the entering class of 2024. Students are grouped with their residential commons, which are celebrating their 10-year anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome the alum marshals of the Rotunda Passage. They have returned to SMU, their alma mater, to welcome you, the 2024 entering class. They guided you through Dallas Hall, past the flag of the United States, the flags of the states of this union, and the flags of the homelands of many of our international students. These flags acknowledge the fact that even though you come from different places, you are now here, and you are now all Mustangs. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and greet representatives of the faculty of SMU. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome the Platform Party and President R. Gerald Turner, President of SMU. Leading the Platform Party is Chief Marshal Thomas Osang. Chief Marshal Osang is carrying the Bradley Kent Carter baton, which signals the start of all SMU academic ceremonies.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I'm Elizabeth Loboa, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. We gather here today for the 110th Opening Convocation of Southern Methodist University. Chaplain, Reverend Lisa Garvin, Chaplain and Minister to the University, will give the invocation. Please remain standing.
Tomorrow is a big day for you all. It's your first official day of class at SMU. How are you feeling? All right, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and breathe out. Imagine who you want to become. The Lord be with you. Let us join our hearts and minds as we pray. Creator and source of life, we are filled with anticipation, seeking knowledge, longing for community, hoping for peace and justice. Guide our minds, inspiring teacher, that we might be innovative leaders who stretch into the unknown to explore and discover what is now beyond our wildest imagination. Strengthen our spirits, sustaining companion, to persevere in the face of challenges, and to offer compassion to our neighbors, here and around the world. Nourish our hearts' mothering spirit for lives of purpose that cultivate ethical leadership, just community, and courageous change, that we may sow seeds of justice and harvest the fruits of peace. All this we pray with courage, curiosity, and with hope. Amen. You may be seated.
I want to extend a warm welcome to all of you, to our new first-year students and our new transfer students, to the parents, partners, family, and friends of our students, to our faculty and retired faculty, to our administrators, staff, and special guests, and to our alumni. I also welcome those who are watching this special event online from around the world. Students, you just completed your processional. This is one half of one of our university's most symbolic traditions, Rotunda Passage. The Rotunda Passage is comprised of two parts, the processional and a recessional. You'll complete your recessional, the second half of this tradition, at the end of your undergraduate career at the baccalaureate service during commencement weekend. You were guided through Dallas Hall's Rotunda today by alumni marshals. These alumni are parents of entering students who, like you did today, have participated in Rotunda Passage and serve as custodians to this rich and meaningful tradition. We are always delighted to have them back on campus and are especially pleased that they are here today to guide the newest members of the community. These alumni symbolize the continuity of our community, a community with a rich heritage, an exciting present, and an ambitious future. Will the alumni marshals please stand? Please join me in thanking these alumni for their contributions today. Thank you, alumni marshals. To our new students, we are honored to formally welcome you into the SMU family. It is appropriate that we gather in McFarland Auditorium, a beautiful and historic place on occasions such as this convocation. Today, we join those who have preceded us, and in so doing, make our own distinct contribution to this great university. At this time, I want to recognize certain other members of today's platform party and audience. I will ask these individuals to stand when introduced and remain standing, and I would ask that you please hold your applause until all introductions are made. R. Gerald Turner, President of SMU. David Huntley, member of the SMU Board of Trustees. David Sedman, Associate Professor of Film and Media Arts, President of the SMU Faculty Senate, and SMU Trustee. Joining us in the audience, SMU Trustee and Chair of the Alumni Board, Philip Wise. And Jude Lugo, Student Representative of the SMU Board of Trustees. Vice Presidents of the university in attendance are Brad Cheeves, Senior Vice President for Development and External Affairs, Rakesh Dahaya, Chief Investment Officer, Casey Meje, Vice President for Student Affairs, Harold Stanley, Vice President for Executive Affairs, and Paul Ward, Vice President for Legal Affairs, General Counsel, and Secretary to the Board of Trustees. Deans and directors representing their schools and areas include Nathan Balke, Elizabeth Martin Armstrong, Dean ad interim of Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences, Gary Brubaker, Director of SMU Guild Hall, Jim Bryan, Associate Dean of BBA Admissions at the Edwin L. Cox School of Business, Samuel Holland, Alger H. Meadows Dean of the Meadows School of the Arts, Nader Jalili, Mary and Richard Templeton Dean of the Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering, Holly Jeffcoat, Dean of SMU Libraries, Stephanie Knight, Leon Simmons, Dean of Annette Caldwell Simmons School of Education and Human Development, Hugo Magallanes, Dean ad interim of Perkins School of Theology, Jason Nance, Judge James Knoll, Dean of Dedman School of Law, Robin Poston, Dean of the Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies, Melinda Sutton, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, Elena Hicks, Assistant Vice Provost and Dean of Admission, Heather Deshawn, Professor and Chair of the Roy M. Huffington Department of Earth Sciences and our Platform Party Marshal, and lastly, Michael Castle, President of the Student Body. Please welcome these individuals. I also wish to recognize my colleagues from the President's and Provost offices, plus other individuals who make important contributions to this institution. Again, I will ask each person to stand when introduced and remain standing, and I ask that you hold your applause until all are introduced. Maria Dixon Hall, Chief Diversity Officer, Sherry Kunovich, Associate Provost for Student Academic Engagement and Success, Suku Nair, Vice Provost for Research and Chief Innovation Officer, Dana Osherwitz, Associate Provost for Institutional Planning and Effectiveness, Wes Wagner, Vice Provost for Enrollment Management and Chief Enrollment Officer, and Aramis Watson, Dean of Residence Life and Student Housing. Lastly, I wish to recognize another very important member of our SMU community, President Turner's wife, Gail Turner. Please join me in welcoming these individuals. Throughout its history, SMU has been served by distinguished faculty who are deeply devoted to their students. Our faculty are the intellectual lifeblood of our university. It is with great pride and pleasure that I ask the faculty, emeriti, and faculty in service to stand. Please join me in recognizing your faculty. In our faculty delegation this afternoon, I'm also happy to acknowledge the newest members of our faculty who have been educated at many of the world's greatest institutions of higher education, I would ask that our new faculty members please stand for a special welcome as well. Students, as you entered the auditorium, you were led by the faculty in residence for your residential commons, who signed the opening convocation registry to record your participation in this ceremony and to affirm your membership in one of SMU's 11 residential commons. This registry is part of the university archives and begins the record of your membership in the SMU community. Will the faculty in residence please stand and be acknowledged? At this time, I am pleased to welcome members of the platform party who are here to greet you. First, I call forward David Huntley, member of the SMU Board of Trustees. Following Mr. Huntley, we will hear from Professor David Sedman, President of the Faculty Senate, and Mr. Michael Castle, President of the SMU Student Body. Mr. Huntley.
Thank you, Provost Loboa. On behalf of the SMU Board of Trustees, it is my honor to officially welcome you into the Mustang community. As you embark on this next chapter, there's excitement in the air, not only because of your arrival, but also because this year marks an historic moment for SMU as we join the ACC. This year, as SMU embraces a new level of opportunity and challenge, so will you. The ACC represents not only a new level for our athletic teams, but also a new arena of academic and personal growth. It is a testament to SMU's commitment to excellence and pushing boundaries. Now, it's been quite a few years since I was a new student here, 48 to be exact. But I vividly remember the first few weeks of college, and I know what you're feeling. Maybe a little excited, nervous, or uncertain. More importantly, I now know that you're not the only one feeling that way. When I first arrived on campus, I didn't know how or where I would fit in. But I knew I had something in common with my classmates. We were all new, all navigating this new part of our lives together, and I soon discovered the profound power of that shared experience. As I enjoyed meals with new friends, wandered around campus, and got to know my classmates, a sense of community emerged, and I couldn't have imagined any other place that I'd rather be. The SMU Board of Trustees is dedicated to ensuring your experience on campus is transformative. The phrase we like to use here at SMU is pony up, and this year that has even more meaning. Not only do we ask you to pony up and engage fully with the opportunities before you, but we also invite you to be a part of this new, exciting chapter of our university's history. Embrace the challenges and triumphs of being in the ACC and leverage them to enhance your own journey. As you begin this remarkable adventure, remember to connect with the people around you and seize the opportunities that come your way. By working together and supporting one another, you will help shape a successful and memorable experience for your class. Welcome to SMU, and congratulations on the start of this journey. Here's to making history together. I wish you all the best of luck. Pony up.
Thank you, David. That was great. On behalf of our faculty, almost 800 strong, we welcome you to SMU. And special thanks to the parents, the friends, and the other family members for being here and supporting our amazing new class of Mustangs. It's an elite group of students, and you know you've come to SMU at the right time. The faculty has never been stronger. We're in the new athletic and academic conference with the ACC, and you're going to be welcomed by our incredible president, President R. Gerald Turner. And personal shout-outs to Ben First, Court Snyder, Pi Bowden. We're going to be in class tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And our class is in the new business building that's state of the art. So congratulations to the Cox School of Business and Dean Myers. The building is fantastic, and I can't wait to see you there. I'm also going to issue you 3 challenges. We've hired an amazing group of new faculty members. Some of them just stood here a second ago. Challenge number 1. If you have a class with a new faculty member, take a moment and chat with them during one of their office hours. Having that common link will be something you may well value during your time at SMU. And it's also a good way to get familiar with one of your professors. Challenge number 2, if you find something in a classroom that inspires you, or perhaps it's something we might improve, or it's something that you find unique, take a picture and send it to Faculty Senate President at smu.edu. That email will come to me, I'll look at it, and I'll send you a response back. That way we can learn through what you do to replicate and possibly where we can do even better. And challenge number 3, at some point, simply take a class outside of your comfort area. Some of the greatest successes we've had are people who enroll for a course outside of their degree path. We've had many cases in which those courses have led to lifelong pursuits, if not an entire career for our students. And if nothing else, these courses can expand your worldview. So for Ben, Court, Pi, I'm going to see you tomorrow. For the rest of you, I want you to have a very successful first semester and an incredible journey toward achieving your goals and your dreams at SMU. You're on the right path to becoming world changers. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Mustangs. My name is Michael Castle, and I have the honor and privilege to serve as the 111th Student Body President of Southern Methodist University. When thinking about what to say to you all today, I found myself reflecting on my own experience, sitting where you are now, right there somewhere, just 3 short years ago. I remember my convocation ceremony vividly, feeling both terrified and excited for the 4 years ahead, uncertain of what the future held for me. I was in my seat realizing that, yes, the dorm beds really are that close together. Then I was trying to figure out how I was going to survive 4 years of the Dallas heat after barely making it through the last 3 days of Stampede. One of you knows that quite well, as I was screaming to you yesterday when you passed out in the back of the Zero. And don't even get me started on the computer science classes I could barely pronounce, let alone imagine passing. I mean, are you seriously telling me that discrete computational structures and computer networks and distributed systems are actual classes? Dr. Turner, you know how terrifying those words sound to someone who just graduated high school. Anyway, before I get too off track, I eventually realized that I should start by congratulating all of you on one of the best decisions of your life. Choosing to spend the next 4 years on the hilltop is a huge deal. SMU is where you will live, learn, and grow, not just in the classroom, but in every aspect of your lives over the next 4 years. SMU is where you'll have opportunities to make good decisions, like choosing to go to class once in a while, and surrounding yourself with people who push you to be the very best version of yourself. And yes, SMU is also where you'll make some pretty terrible decisions, though I probably shouldn't go into detail about those here on stage. Now, if it's okay with you all, in the whole 2 minutes I have today, there's one actual piece of advice I would like to share. Those terrible decisions, mistakes, adversity, and conflict are not your enemies in college. They certainly can be if you choose to see them this way. But I encourage you to view them as opportunities. Bill Gates once said, "It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure." I've made plenty of mistakes during my time at SMU, and I'm sure I'll make plenty more this year. But that's the nature of being in college. The most important skill you can develop here and in life is choosing to learn from failure. Be okay with not being perfect and strive to be just a little bit better every single day. Finally, I have one last piece of advice. It's a little bit of pressure because mine's sitting right here, but call your mom. There's no one who cares more about you and your success than the people in the balcony up there or the ones watching on screen at home. I guarantee they're more excited you're here than you are. Not to mention financially invested in your future. Welcome to SMU and congratulations, class of 2028.
Thank you, Mr. Huntley, Professor Sedman, and Mr. Castle. Incredibly inspirational remarks. And to one particular freshman out there, as Michael Castle said, call your mom. Yeah. I promise I won't say your name. We have welcomed you with spoken words, and we now welcome you with music. And we at SMU are very proud of our musical excellence. So we're pleased to share with you the talents of vocalists from Meadows who will sing SMU forever. And this special piece is also performed at commencement. The song was written by Jimmy Dunn, who's an SMU parent and songwriter. And he wanted to capture in words just how fast the university experience would be for his daughter and the memories she would have after graduation. The chorus is conducted by David Womack, graduate student in choral conducting. Thank you. Isn't that just beautiful? Oh my gosh. So again, welcome to SMU's 110th Opening Convocation. And I hope you will find, as I have, that the Hilltop is a very special place. SMU's distinctiveness lies in our exceptional community. Like you, SMU's faculty and staff are Mustangs, and we are dedicated to igniting your curiosity and shaping you into future world changers. No individual has had a greater hand in shaping that vision than today's speaker, SMU President R. Gerald Turner. Under his nearly 3 decades of leadership, a rarity for higher education, SMU has seen remarkable progress in educational quality, research excellence, and community impact. Your class reflects our progress, as collectively you are one of our most academically qualified incoming groups, with first-year and transfer students achieving an average ACT score of 32 and an average high school GPA of 3.7. SMU's impressive trajectory was a major factor in my decision to come here as provost 4 years ago, and remains my source of inspiration day in and day out. Working with President Turner toward achieving our goals together continues to be not just a pleasure, but an honor. Now, please join me in welcoming the 10th President of SMU, R. Gerald Turner.
Thank all of you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You led one. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank all of you. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you very much. Parents who are watching this online and parents that are up in the nosebleed section, we appreciate very much your providing the opportunity for these students to begin at SMU. You've had Mustang startup, move-in day, and now convocation, and then was mentioned by the Faculty Senate President, tomorrow you really will begin your path toward a college degree. Your first-year students, the 4 years, will go by quite quickly. And I can tell you that because 30 have. So I can only imagine how fast 4 can go. But by the way, your parents expect you to graduate in 4 years. Or you've made some deal with them that you stay an extra year to get a master's or something like that. But make sure that it's for achievement, not poor decisions, if you are going to stay here 5 years. Transfer students, you'll be here for a shorter period of time, but you'll still find that the time will go quickly, but that you'll learn a lot and certainly enjoy being here. Although I announced last week that this would be my last year as president, it will not change the operation of the institution or what I'm doing during this next year. So I'm forewarning you that one of the ways that Casey Maget, our Vice President for Student Affairs, and I get to know you is that we have lunch with you occasionally, at least once a month, and usually more than that, with you in one of the dining commons, either Humphrey Lee, and more likely it would be Humphrey Lee or the Arnold Dining Center. We walk around, say hello to everybody, and then pick a table where we will eat lunch with the students at that table. As best I can tell you, every student has survived it. But it also helps develop the spiritual strength of those students. And the reason I know that is that one time we were walking around and sort of headed toward a table, and one of the students said, "Oh my God, I hope he doesn't sit here." And then try to prove that sometimes God answers prayers. We didn't sit there. So at least for one person, it had some spiritual kind of implications. But you'll make it. As was mentioned, you're the first class to welcome universities from the Atlantic Coast Conference. And this is important, not only for the reasons that David Huntley, our trustee, former president of the student body, and is currently the chair of the Student Affairs Committee, so many of you will have an opportunity to meet with him one time or another. but it's the first year that we will have them come. We've worked really hard to make sure that we are welcomed to the ACC. So when those schools come here for football games or basketball, but first football this fall semester, we want to beat them. We want them to go home knowing we take it seriously, but we also want to show them some hospitality. We want them, when they leave here, to be happy, basically saying, well, we don't like the fact that they beat us, but they're nice people and they treated us well. And so we want to make sure that we show them hospitality, be a gracious host, help us in that regard. We don't want any of them leaving saying, I don't know if we can repeal that, but we certainly want to check on it. Make sure, they can't, by the way. Make sure, though, that they are hospitable, that you're hospitable when they're here. Dallas and SMU have come a long way together. As was mentioned, we were opening in 1915, and the population of Dallas was about 125,000 at that time. Now the Fort Worth Dallas Metroplex is now about 8 million people. The university was founded by the mutual support of the United Methodist Church and the business and civic leaders of Dallas. Most of the students at that time were from Texas, but now your class is 56% from out of state, 44% from Texas. So we've become much more a national university. During your time on campus, you're going to have some incredible opportunities to learn all kinds of things. You're going to find that Dallas is a positive, energetic, can-do city, and that North Texas employers like you because they think from their past experience of those who have preceded you here that you'll be well educated, you'll be culturally intelligent, you'll know how to interact with other people, you have had internships and other kinds of out-of-classroom experiences that are unique to living in a dynamic city like Dallas. Those of your high school friends who chose to attend a college in a small to medium-sized town are simply not going to match your opportunities here in Dallas at SMU. Those expectations are consistent with our branding statement, World Change is Shaped Here, which I know you've seen on practically all of our materials, and they point to the very real theme that every word of that is important, but world changers are shaped here, and shaping is a very important word in that statement. Although the faculty overseeing the academic curriculum that you will follow will provide a major part of the shaping that occurs, it will also result from friends that you meet here. So choose them wisely. You want friends who bring out the best of you and can help with your future rather than those who may drag you down. The intellectual stimulation and the impact of all of the scholars that come here will help shape you. And you'll be able to be shaped by a number of things that just your experience outside the classroom will bring you. It's part of the value added of being at SMU. A part of this shaping process, you're going to pick up and hone some individual fundamental skills that we hope you will do in a successful way because they're very important to your life. Like most fundamental skills, they often go unappreciated. And others along the radar may think, well, what is he or she doing? But believe me, over your lifetime, they'll be important. 5 of them. Number 1, communication skills. A common compliment that we receive from employers about SMU graduates is the strength that they exhibit in writing, computing, and public speaking skills. If you can write, speak, and compose, you have such an advantage over people who are weak in one of those 3. So build up all 3 of them. I've had to turn down people who were qualified for opportunities to work in the position that I'm searching for someone to fill simply because they didn't write well or they didn't communicate well. It's a basic ability. ChatGPT is out there. Your faculty members will give you instructions about how you can or can't use it, but don't use it as a crutch. Develop your own ability to do things. Use it, but don't let it use you. Don't become addicted to it in some way, and besides that, it'll be found out that it's not yours. It's ChatGPT's. When you need help, you can go to the Altschiller Learning Enhancement Center, and they can certainly give you the kind of feedback that you'll need to develop your writing ability, your speaking ability, and your computational ability. So one piece of advice from this: take your discernment and discourse courses seriously, because you may think, well, that's not my major. It will undergird your strength in every major that you may take. Also take some history, philosophy, political science, English, religious studies, and other areas where you have to express and defend your ideas. If you don't, you're shortchanging yourself and the opportunities that you'll have here to pick up those basic communication skills. Second one, maintaining civility and freedom of speech is a skill that we truly want you to augment. You already have it, but your opportunities for strengthening it will absolutely come here to you. Not only is the ability to communicate essentially, but the freedom to express yourself is also foundational. Free speech has long been recognized as an absolute cornerstone of thriving democratic society. Because of the fundamental role freedom of expression has in our lives, any kind of expression has the ability to either ignite controversy or to calm it down. As you exercise this right on our campus, it's important that you do it with humility and with civility, following our long-term established policies to ensure the health, safety, and academic continuity of everyone on our campus. Because all Mustangs are valued, you should be able to discuss, debate, agree, and disagree with each other within the context of civil discourse. This topic is especially relevant right now, as you all know. In about 10 weeks, our nation and campus community will undergo a national election, and we'll have a voting site, at least one on our campus. Regardless of your political affiliation and beliefs, SMU has always been a site where differences of opinion on candidates and issues are respectively presented and debated. Not all opinions are equal. In particular, they're not equally valid. But after civil discourse and debate, the values of ideas usually rise or fall to their appropriate level. The ability to articulate and defend one's ideas while recognizing and respecting others' points of view is an important component of shaping world changers. During previous times of intense differences of opinion in our country, like we had this last academic year around the country, we have in this election year, our community has the opportunity to deal peacefully with differences of opinion once again. We need to be able to discuss and debate distinctions without the kind of rancor and ill will that so often accompanies it that you see around on TV and in the social media. This dialogue that's peaceful can only occur when people talk to each other and not just send out zingers on social media. Talk. We have a sizable free speech site on the main quad, which served our community well with the oversight and coordination of student affairs and the Office of Cultural Intelligence. I urge the class of 2028 to join your predecessors in preserving these opportunities for civil, free expression for yourself and classes that follow you. The ability that you have here is due directly to your predecessors, each of the classes that have preceded you, with creating and maintaining and sustaining this right on our campus. You are inheriting this important heritage. You need to be able to hand it down to the class of 2029, 2030, and so on. It's a crucial ability. It's a crucial skill that we hope that you will have and that you will continue to have. Things can be tough, but individuals can decide how they react to them and how they respond to each other. All Mustangs are valued. The third, cultural intelligence skills. The most effective long-term approach to navigating complex issues that might appear on our campus is to strengthen our sense of community. In doing so, you have to get to know more clearly those who make up the SMU world. We strive to have a pluralistic community of people of all beliefs and value systems and backgrounds at SMU. Cultural intelligence is the ability to interact and work with people from very diverse backgrounds. It's much easier to objectify and dehumanize people that you don't know. So get to know individuals and assume that they have a reason for whatever point of view that they have. It may not be a correct point of view, but they have a reason for it. We have worked diligently over the years to ensure that our campus reflects very diverse backgrounds. 35% of you are from diverse backgrounds, and so we try to create a welcoming environment on campus where that can occur. Under the leadership of our Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. Maria Dixon Hall, CIQ, Cultural Intelligence, at SMU is the informational and programmatic core that makes cultural intelligence a practical part of living. It's a differentiating standard of what it means to be a member of the SMU Mustang community. Fourth, ethical skills. The fourth foundation area of knowledge that I urge you to enhance during your time here is the ability to recognize ethical conflicts and discuss and act on the should, the ought, the right, and so on of life. There are many people that cannot seem to recognize when those issues ought to be in the forefront. That ability seems to be taking a beating lately, and the lack of moral compass undermines the ability of many people to have the kind of lives that they think they want to have. If you want to be able to trust your friends and future spouse, they in turn need to be able to trust you. Any person who eventually reports to you, and you are being educated here to be leaders, both in business, society, and across the world, really, as you choose to live, wherever you choose to live, that we want you to be a leader. And those who report to you need to be able to trust you. And so as a part of the shaping that you'll have here, our students, we want you to make sure that you become ethical leaders, compassionate for other people, and so on. We have an ethical component of our curriculum, and we urge you to dig deeply into the issues that are brought up in whatever course that you take in that curriculum. I think you'll find that in life, the whys things occur are often more important than the whats that occur. Find out about it. Last, relational skills. Ethical values should be obviously extended to your personal life. During your time as a student, many of you will develop lifelong relationships and friendships. You'll go into business with people that you're in school with here. You'll live close to them. You'll even marry some of them. All of the things that go with the kind of interpersonal relationships that develop at a college are really important. It's important to understand that along with our university policies, there are state and federal laws that address campus sexual harassment and assault, which occur whenever it does occur, it's more often than we want it to say the least. It is essential to recognize the accountability, regard, and concern for others that are inherent in intimate relationships. Consent is paramount. An intoxicated person is unable to give consent for sexual activity, and it doesn't take a lot to be legally intoxicated, depending upon your weight and experience. A disregard for the rights and well-being of others can lead to disastrous outcomes that could end up making you leave here, or in many instances, even going to jail. So be careful. Be careful. Take personal relationships for your actions and develop friends who accept mutual accountability. When you go out with those who will be looking out for you as you look out for them. Just be wise. It's a great time. It's a great time to meet people and so on, but just be wise in your relationships. Okay, those are the 5. As we approach the start of the term tomorrow, I'm confident that you're going to get a world-class education because the faculty has seen to it, and make sure that you strengthen your experience in these 5 basic areas: communication, freedom of speech, maintenance of civility as a part of that freedom of speech, cultural intelligence, and ethical decision-making, and having responsible relationships. You'll be a stronger person when you leave SMU because of these skills and all the others that you're going to develop. It's a great time to be in Dallas. It's a great time to be at SMU. and we look forward to your beginning your quest tomorrow morning. So set your alarm clock or your phone or whatever you use to wake up by so that you won't be late for class. And those of you that the President of the Faculty Senate identified as being available at 9 o'clock in the morning, be there. And all the rest of you. And enjoy the time that you're at SMU, because it'll be a great time for you to pony up. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Turner, for your inspiring remarks. As the Provost and Chief Academic Officer of SMU, I am convinced that one of the most important duties of this office, and indeed of all associated with the university, is that of supporting the full engagement of our students in the university community. Each student, faculty member, administrator, and staff member at SMU shares responsibility for building an academic community that creates, expands, and imparts knowledge. And that's through scholarship, creative activity, teaching, and service that shapes ethical leaders and world changers who contribute to their communities and excel in their professions in a global society. SMU is a community that cultivates principled thought, develops intellectual skills, and promotes an environment emphasizing individual dignity and worth, and a community that affirms its commitment to academic freedom and open inquiry, to moral and ethical values, and to matters of faith. And now, to present this entering class, I call upon Elena Hicks, Assistant Vice Provost and Dean of Admission.
President Turner, Provost Loboa, Platform Party, and SMU community, I am thrilled to be with you today on behalf of the Office of Undergraduate Admission and the Division of Enrollment Services to introduce you to the entering fall class of 2024. The previous times I have given this address, I typically talk about how easily the theme of my remarks came into being. I've expounded on entering classes and how they bring to life our mission, our values, brand, and our taglines. This class is no different in its value and in its accolades. But this year, I labored over the theme for my talk. What I landed on is this: the entering class of 2024, in living their ordinary lives, are doing extraordinary things in relation to who they are, what they present, and how they impact the world. Our students have achieved so much under circumstances, especially in the last 4 years, that were not always normal or easy. But they keep achieving and growing under circumstances some would call challenging or even impossible. At SMU, we call it grit. It is the notion of sticking in there, striving to do our best while looking to the future. To do ordinary things in an extraordinary way, we must approach each task, regardless of what it is, with a commitment to excellence and attention to detail, says Patty Feeney. Before this class was admitted to SMU, they identified the following interest in their application to the university. Nearly 400 were interested in student media. 700 said they were interested in hearing more about academic honors and programs. Over 1,000 wanted to be involved in study abroad. More than 1,500 wanted to learn more about SMU's community service. 150 were looking at cheer, pom, spirit teams, and the Mustang Band. 900 Greek life, 1,400 internships, 184 wanted to know more about speech and debate, and almost 500 were already interested in undergraduate research. Students, these endeavors are exceptional, and I hope the interest you had as an applicant continues as you begin your journey as a Mustang. Here's yet another way to look at the ordinary lives of this class and their extraordinary accomplishments. Their ages range from 16 to 58. They represent 910 high schools and 135 colleges worldwide. This group is comprised of 49 states and the District of Columbia. Yes, West Virginia will be looking for you to round us to 50 again. The top states students hail from are Texas, California, Florida, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Arizona. And let's not forget the 33 countries, leading with Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, Canada, the United Kingdom, China, and New Zealand. One of you comes from Istanbul, Turkey, whose population is 15.6 million. Another of you comes from Tenaha, Texas, whose population is 989. The class represents 256 counties, 713 cities and towns, and 936 zip codes. 7,691 advanced placement and 1,006 international baccalaureate classes were taken, along with 13,051 credit hours of dual credit or transfer work. This class comes from homes speaking 21 primary languages. Along with English, the top ones are Spanish, Arabic, Korean, Polish, Russian, and French. The class took just over 6,100 hours of language studies in school, encompassing 22 different languages. The entering class represents 84 academic majors and programs here at SMU. 241 students are the first in their family to go off to college. 32 have a parent or guardian who works here at the university, and 22 have served our country in the armed forces. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. That's a quote from Gretchen Rubin. Students, you have shown us the extraordinary things you do every day to enrich the lives of your families, school community, and others. The ordinary can be made extraordinary when seen through the lens of passion and perspective. Nicholas Sparks said, "Sometimes the most ordinary things could be made extraordinary simply by doing them with the right people." I hope you realize, entering class of 2024, you were chosen to be an SMU Mustang because you are to us the right people. And I might add, the right people at the right time, joining our momentum to change the world. In their daily lives, Mustangs must innovate, elevate, transform, revolutionize, and ignite. In you, we see our future. In you, we see the compassion and drive that will take us into our new frontier. On behalf of the SMU community, I thank you in advance for all you will bring to the hilltop to enrich this beloved university and to bring to life the extraordinary work we have ahead of us together. Now it is my honor to present the entering class and the opening convocation registry to President Turner. I ask Chief Marshal Thomas Osang to join me on stage with the convocation registry that has been signed today by the faculty and residents representing each of the 11 residential commons. Will all new incoming students please rise and remain standing? President Turner, on behalf of the Office of Undergraduate Admission, and with my deepest gratitude to the faculty, staff, alumni, and other members of the university community who have helped bring these students to the hilltop, I present the entering class of Southern Methodist University for the fall 2024. Their faculty and residents have noted their presence today in the Convocation Registry.
Thank you, Dean Hicks. As president of Southern Methodist University, I welcome you into our community of learning and give you the following four-part pledge. Number one, be mindful of the privileges and responsibilities of citizenship at SMU. Number two, be engaged in the community and be aware of the diversity of backgrounds among you as one of the valued strengths of SMU. Number three, be diligent in your pursuit of the academic goals that brought you to SMU. And number four, be committed to avail yourselves of the incredible resources that now are before you. If you're willing to accept these responsibilities of our community, please say, "I will." I will. Thank you. Dean Hicks and Chief Marshal, I'm pleased to accept the entering class of 2024, and I'll now sign the registry. Thank you. Congratulations to our new students. The Opening Convocation Registry, recording the attendance of all of the residential commons today, may be returned to the archives and will be returned to the archives of the university. Thank you, and be seated.
The building we are sitting in today, McFarland Auditorium, was a gift to SMU by Robert McFarland so that we might have a center for our collective life and so that we could also serve the cultural needs of North Texas. One of the traditions surrounding Opening Convocation has always been the lowering of the original fire curtain of McFarland Auditorium from 1926. While that curtain has been removed due to aging, you will see on the screen that is lowered at the end of today's ceremony an image of the historic mural, a painting of the Avila Methodist Church, a church attended by Mr. McFarland. The curtain was first lowered at the auditorium dedication, and today we honor the tradition. As of today, you, the entering students, join with SMU's past as you prepare to be part of our present and of our future. And now will the entire audience please stand for the singing of the university's hymn, Varsity, and for the benediction, which will be delivered by Dean Magallanes. The words of Varsity are found inside your program. We will be led by Meadows vocalists and the Imperial Brass. Following the benediction, we ask our entering students and guests to remain standing for the recessional. After the recessional, the Chief Marshal will dismiss you. And upon exiting the auditorium, you will be greeted on the historic main quadrangle by the sounds of the Mustang Band, led by Director Charles Aguilan, and Peruna, of course, our university mascot. If you are a member of the Mustang Band, you may leave to take your place with the band after the benediction.
word benediction, based on its Latin roots, is formed by bene, meaning well or good, and diction, meaning to speak. So benediction literally means to speak well or a good spoken word. And before I offer a good spoken word to conclude this event, please allow me to share with you a brief piece of research which confirms what most of us have experienced. The departments of psychology and psychiatry at the University of Cambridge affirm that our daily lives involve high levels of repetition. We buy the same foods from the same grocery store, we cook with the same spices, and typically we sit at the same place at dinner or in the classroom. They also conclude that although habits help us to operate efficiently, breaking them requires a great effort. And there is a significant variation in the degree in which different individuals show propensity for developing habits. While some people delight in experiencing change, the majority of us go so far as to even describe ourselves as creatures of habit, an expression that reflects our appreciation of routine and regularity in our lives. So now, as we begin a new journey, and with it, without a doubt, we will break old habits, and at the same time, we will form new habits, new traditions, new friendships. And during this time of transition and adjustment, our hearts and minds may be filled with mixed emotions. We may have doubts or concerns, but also excitement, as well as joyful anticipation for what lies ahead of us. And it is during these times that I strongly believe that it is essential to remember and to think of our Creator and develop the habit of praying to God. So let's begin this new habit today. Would you please join me in prayer as we receive this benediction, a good spoken word? God, our comforter, come into places of confusion and give us peace. Creator God, come into places of inflexibility and give us energy to change our surroundings. Peacemaker God, come into places of division and tension and give us unity and calmness. God the Almighty, come into places of weakness and give us endurance and strength. God of infinite wisdom, come into places of confusion and give us clarity and direction. God of forgiveness, come into places of bitterness and give us freedom to forgive. And to continue this habit, we join with your servant Thomas A. Kempis in this prayer. Grant, O God, to all teachers and students to know what is worth knowing, to love what is worth loving, to praise what pleases you most, and dislike whatsoever is evil in your sight. Grant us, with true judgment, to distinguish things that contrast, and above all, to search out and do what is well-pleasing to you. May this prayer be our new habit as we begin this new journey at Southern Methodist University. Amen.
Can we put a request in for Port Troubles?
You can, but it's denied. There you go. There you go.
Well, at least we can request.
Yeah. You can always request. We've given in to a lot of things over there. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.